In a certain species of mammals, gray fur, big G, is dominant to white fur, little g, and brown eyes, big B, are dominant to blue eyes, little b. A male with genotype, big G, big B, little b, is mated with a female that has white fur and blue eyes, little g, little b, little b. What is the percent chance that one of the offspring they create will also have white fur and blue eyes? So I always want to make sure that I understand the genotypes of the parents that I'll be using. So it tells me that the male is heterozygous for both traits, and the female is homozygous recessive for both traits. And so it gave me both the genotypes I need, and so now I'm ready to make my Punnett squares. Because I'm looking at two traits, I'll need two Punnett squares. So my first Punnett square is going to be about fur color. And so my first parent is a heterozygote, and my second is homozygous recessive. So now I can fill that in. And the second trait is eye color, and my first parent is heterozygous for that too, and the female is homozygous recessive. And now I can fill in that Punnett square. And now I'm ready to look at the question. What is the percent chance that one of the offspring they create will also have white fur and blue eyes? Well, they told me up here that the female has white fur and blue eyes, and they told me that her genotype was little g, little b. That's because in order to express the recessive trait in your phenotype, you have to be homozygous recessive. Since white fur and blue eyes are both recessive traits, that means that the offspring I'm looking for will also be homozygous recessive for both traits. So I'm looking for little g, little b, so that the offspring will have white fur and blue eyes. So in my first Punnett square, I can see that 50% of the offspring will be homozygous recessive and have white fur. And in my second Punnett square, I can see that 50% of the offspring are homozygous recessive and will have blue eyes. But be very careful. Just because it's 50% from both of these Punnett squares does not mean that that's my answer. Remember that we always have to multiply the percentages that we get from each Punnett square in a dihybrid cross to find our final answer. So you'll put 0.50 times 0.50 into your calculator, and you will get 0.25, and when you move the decimal over, you'll see that's 25%. So there is a 25% chance that they will produce offspring that have white fur and blue eyes.